future healthy habits, healthy eating habits, which is important. This is what I like. This is my jam, instilling healthy eating habits in children so it lasts them a lifetime into adulthood, so they have a good, healthy relationship with food and they don't actually eat with their emotions, okay? This week's video is going to be an overview of child nutrition from womb to age 12. And then as the weeks go on, I'm going to actually break down each age group. So stay tuned for that. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Nicole Cheney. I have a degree in child nutrition. So let's get right down to this video. Let's get right into it. So why is nutrition important for children? Why is it? Why? Here's just some reason why. It helps them maintain a healthy weight. Okay, which is great. You know, you want them to maintain a healthy weight. It lowers risk of life-threatening diseases in current and adult life. It increases the quality of life for the child, stabilizes energy levels, reduces mood swings and anxiety, improves their mind, builds strong immune system to fight illnesses such as colds and cough. And that is so important for, you know, what we're dealing with right now with the pandemic, right? It helps prevent mental health conditions and instills future healthy habits, healthy eating habits, which is important. This is what I like. This is my jam, instilling healthy eating habits in children so it lasts them a lifetime into adulthood, so they have a good, healthy relationship with food and they don't actually eat with their emotions, okay? Because who here as an adult eats with their emotions, okay? And once you do that, it's really hard to break that emotional tie. So that's what I really do focus on with children, is their healthy eating habits and their emotional ties with it, okay? So right now, nutrition requirements for infants. So this is infants stage here. Infants has, whether it's breast milk or formula, they have the main nutrients, okay? It's obviously protein, fats, and carbs, minerals, and vitamins, right? And the milk and in the formula has all the requirements that they need for that stage of life, right? So to enable infants immune systems to strengthen natural physical and mental development to occur, all those nutrients need to be there, okay? So with fats, breast milk and infant formula is great. It's essential for fats. It has a lot of vitamins as well too. So it has vitamin A, D, and E, and K. But outside of breast milk, our bodies are able to produce essential fats, okay? Which is why it's important that we get them in our diet, and as they play a vital role in maintaining proper function in cell membranes. Okay, so nutrition actually goes down to the cellular level in all of us, not just kids, right? Because kids are developing, yeah, so you need to like help with development, but even as adults, it goes down to the cellular level, what you're putting into your body, right? So fats are high in energy, which is especially important in young babies who are tiny stomachs, who only can cope with a small amount of food at a time. So high fatty foods like the breast milk or formula is great for them because it can last them a longer period of time, okay? Which is why a lot of people are so into the ketogenic diet, because I think that it gives them longer energy for a longer period of time. Yes, that may be true, but it's important for them at this stage for brain development and for energy levels, okay? Protein is also important for infant growth, and it forms parts of cells in their body and the need to make new cells. So the protein in the formula, okay, because it has in our milk, okay, if you breastfed, I breastfed as my two children. The breast milk has proteins and fats in it, and the protein is really great for the cell, to form the cells, okay? And then the fats is really important to have that long sustainable energy because they have such a tiny stomach, and it will get them over to the next hump, okay? But formula also has that as well. If you're not unable to breastfeed, formula is a great way for that too, okay? So for 6 to 1 year, this is when solid foods get introduced, right? So you want to get, because you start reducing the milk and giving them solid foods, you want to make sure they're still getting all the nutritional requirements that they need, as well as introduce foods and introduce foods that could potentially be like they could be allergic to, right? For us, my family has a huge slew of allergies in there, from shellfish, eggs, to peanuts, and we were very cautious with everything that we tried. But because we tried it and we kind of incorporated it into our lifestyle at a young age for them, they don't have an allergic reaction to them. So, but that doesn't happen for every kid, right? Every kid's different, every body's different. But this is the stage where you kind of introduce those things, right? So, between the ages of 6 and 12 months, requirements for protein, thiamine, vitamin B6, vitamin B12, iron, magnesium, zinc, sodium, and chloride increase. They actually increase, okay? And it increased because of how rapid they develop in this small stage, okay? So with fats, because you're introducing some solid foods, so as with infants, older babies need lots of good fats, which include saturated, monosaturated, and omega-3 fats. Naturally occurring in whole foods are better, and these are just some of the foods that have it, okay? So avocados, great for that. My kids hated it, but it's a great, they spit it right up as children, but it's a great fat source, right? Eggs, which in my family there was I had egg sensitivities. I still do, so I can't have too many eggs. And then sometimes if I get a shot that has the eggshells on it, because some shots do have that, I get rashes. So eggs, that we didn't introduce till closer to a year. So you do have to be a little bit more wary if you have allergies in there. But eggs is a great source of fats as well. Okay. Butter. So if you start giving them what we did for fats, because it was very important, right? We started, I added a little bit, because I made all my baby food from scratch, okay? And I added a little bit of, it was either coconut oil, very tiny small amounts of that, or it was a little bit of butter in with the purees. So they had the vegetables. I tried both separate first, because that's what you're supposed to do. Then I added it in, right? So they would get that little bit of extra fat into their little digestive system, okay? And when you're starting to try out meats with protein and whatnot, try high quality grass-fed meats. It's because they have the less chemicals in them, less medicine in them. They're medicine-free, right? So their immune system doesn't get attacked by the medications that are in food or the hormones that are in food. They're such a tiny little body. Once their immune system starts going, even at a small age, it's really hard to build it back up as an adult, right? It takes a lot of time and a lot of work and a lot of effort. So try and make sure the meats are high quality when they're young, which doesn't always happen because of financials and all that stuff. That is okay. What we did, because we lived in the country, is we went to the farmers who actually had the meats and everything, actually grew the animals. And some of them actually have their own little freezer meat section in the front of their barns. Some of them do, some of them don't. Some of them go straight to the grocery stores. But the ones that did, we actually went to their farm. It's straight to farm to the front of the barn there, and we buy our meat that way. So maybe just kind of look at it around that way, because doing it that way, you're buying it straight from the farmer, so you're cutting out the middleman. So sometimes it actually ends up being cheaper depending on the farmer, right? Okay. Nuts and seeds are also a great source of fats, but again, with those, you have to introduce them slowly because there's allergies upon them, right? So kind of have to basically what's in your family history, right? Okay, and then we're gonna go down to protein. So protein, that's like I got some veggie protein sources and animal protein sources, because some moms like to keep their kids vegetarian and others like to use their meats, which is all good, all good. So vegetable protein is avocados, tofu, mashed buttered beans, mashed chickpeas, and mashed baked beans. My kids loved mashed chickpeas, okay? They love them. Animal proteins is yogurt. Make sure it's kind of like the white variety. Eggs, cottage cheese, like soft cheese, butter, and then like minced up chicken or turkey. So what's very important at this stage is iron for the babies, okay? So they're, it's essentially, they need it for their cells to grow. So you just really need, iron is huge, okay? So with children this age, it's, leafy greens, peas, potatoes, lentils, raisins, even chicken has it, right? So babies who don't get enough iron can have like a slow weight gain, or pale skin, no appetite, and kind of have like a little bit irritability. So you want to like make sure they have enough iron. Zinc is another mineral that you need to increase at this stage, right? So that's, again, peas, beans, nuts, seeds, tomatoes, and poultry, and cheese. So that's how you can do it. Some vegan sources of that is like roasted pumpkin seeds, peanuts, baked beans, cashews, chickpeas. But again, allergies, depending on your child, you have to kind of like introduce it a different way. So just, I'm just doing it very general right now, okay? Vitamin B12 is another one you got to increase. So then that's like Swiss cheese, and like dairy products, okay? So dairy products, eggs, Swiss cheese, that's stuff like that, okay? And hydration is super important at this stage as well. Because you're reducing the milk, you have to incorporate water, and you have to kind of like monitor it, making sure they're drinking the water, because some babies don't like it, okay? So that is basically from newborn to 6 months, okay? Now we're gonna kind of go into, newborn to a year, okay? Now we're gonna go above that. So now they're growing. They're running around. They need a lot more carbohydrates at this time, which a lot of parents do not believe, but they do. Carbohydrates is important from the stage of year to 3. They are running around. They're just releasing so much energy that you need to build it back up. Okay, so carbohydrates. Now this is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like rice, potatoes, like starchy carbs, so like sweet potatoes, stuff like that, okay? Like really get into it. You can get pasta as well. We made homemade pasta for them. But full fat dairy products such as milk, yogurt, and cheese offer a great energy source as well. And it's just because they are just running around like crazy. So that's for 1 to 3 that you really need to focus on, is kind of increasing their carbs. So making them a little bit more bread, rice, pasta, potatoes, sweet potatoes, that sort of thing. Now from 4 to 6, they should be a little bit more focused on, yes, they need carbs. Carbs is still a huge thing. Fats is still a huge thing, and protein is still a huge thing. But you can now switch the carbs a little bit more over to fruits and vegetables, not so focused on the starchiness, okay? So they are in need of a lot more vitamin A and B's and C's and D's, okay? And calcium is huge in this stage as well. So fruit with yogurt is like the best thing you can give your child for between 4 and 6. Okay, fruits and vegetables are huge, like berries, so like blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. My girls are berry girls, they love them. Even kiwis. Kiwis, my girls are strangely addicted to them. So start incorporating a little bit more fruits and vegetables as those carbs rather than the starchiness, okay? And then mix those good quality fats in with the protein. And then you, from 7 to 10 years old, okay? They remain quite similar to the 4 to 6 category, but you want to increase iron at this time. So you want to try and incorporate a little bit more iron in the diet. So then that's, again, big leafy greens, broccoli, or you can do it the meat way, chickpeas, lentils, if you're vegetarian. You just want to try and increase the protein a little bit. Now, in these videos coming up, I'm going to be going deep into this of exactly how much your child needs at this point in time. This is just a brief overview, okay? Now, from 10 to 14, this is when the calcium is super important. This is when they start building those muscles and their strength right up. So you're gonna see your child starting to bulk up, start to get the muscle definition, and that's when the calcium intake is really important, and the protein, okay? So this is like the preteen. Great foods for them at this stage is like milk and milk-based foods, cheese such as cheddar, mozzarella, Swiss, Parmesan, cottage cheese, yogurt, fish. Fish is great at this stage. Dark leafy green vegetables, so like spinach, kale, broccoli, dried figs, okay, oranges and tangerines, tofu, and yeah. That's about it. This was just some of the suggestions. So that's just kind of like our video. This is the big overview of all the different categories I'm going to be going over these next coming weeks, okay? So, tune in for that. But if, again, I'm going live from my app right now. So if you want to download my app, it is in the description below. And that's our video for this week. I cannot wait for this series to happen. And you guys can just like refer to my videos as your child grows up, and I'm just super excited for that. But I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.